Hey, good morning. I think it's still morning. Is it still morning? I've been really busy doing lots of work. Oh yeah, it's still morning. It's only like 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. Good morning. I'm Lisa Loring, and I'm here to do today's tarot reading. These are basically just the tarot readings, the cards that I would normally pull for myself. I'm just doing them live, and I'm trying to learn to read the cards like a little quicker. Although you will see a little later on that I will have a really full description of some further reads that as I continue to work with the cards over the next couple of hours. They'll be the same cards that we pull here, and then you'll see that write up on Instagram, and then I'll also provide later on a link to that in this description. But I'm not going to sit around and edit this. So I just do it live, and that's what we're doing. I'm not going to sit around and edit the video. I'm definitely not doing that. Might be some little bit of noise today. We have a lot of landscapers here, and we have some guys doing a deck job next door. So anyway, we'll see what's up. So I'm shuffling the cards, and I'm sitting up at my dining room table because one of my cats, who is actually here now, likes to hang out with me. So I'm just shuffling the cards. I don't do it super skillfully. But we'll see what we come up with today. So let me clear my energy, get grounded, see what the cards have to show for us today. We've got a lot of great, interesting energy with the planets up in the sky, as above, so below. And as above, so below, we ask for any and all negative energies to be dispelled from this space, to be dispelled from this deck, to be dispelled from me. And stand guard all archangels, all powers of the purest white light. Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Sandalphon, Archangel Zadkiel, Archangel Raguel, Archangel Razkiel. Got one card already coming out, and it is the Ten of Pentacles. That's a great card. Archangel Haniel, Archangel Jophiel. Here's another card that's coming out. What do we have? Oh, the Six of Swords. This was one of the ones in the bottom of the deck the other day. Archangel Haniel, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Jophiel. And we have another card that's come out. What do we have? Oh, the Wheel of Fortune. This is really great. I love this card. And do we have any other cards? I don't think so. Just looking at the bottom of the deck today. And we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is what's at the bottom of the deck. And further into that, we've got the Two of Swords, which was one of the cards that came up. It might have been yesterday. No, the day before. Nine of Cups, the Empress. Oh, she's such a beautiful card. Look at her. Yeah, look at her. She's beautiful. And the Eight of Cups, the Queen of Wands. So we can go as far under the deck as we want. Just to look at the numbers really quickly, we've got the Ten of Pentacles, so that gives us a 10. Actually, you know what? It's been interesting. The past 3 readings I've done, the first and the third card that have come out, which frame the central card of the reading, have been equal numbers. So I think it was 2 5s a couple of days ago with a card in between. Maybe the 2 5s came out first. But we see this again. We see this happening. I think yesterday it was 2 8s framing the Ace of Pentacles. And then today we've got a 10 of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is a 10 card. So I'm going to angle this down so you can see the cards, and I'm actually going to turn them the way they came out so you can see them. So here's that 10 of Pentacles. Six of Swords is our central card. The 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, and then the Hierophant is a 5. So we've got some really interesting numerology. The 2 10s give us a 20. The 6 is a 26, and then we have that 5 of the Hierophant. And that gives us 31. Yes, 31. 31 in and of itself is a number of the Ascended Masters. And they're asking actually for us to look past, to take a different perspective on things, whatever is in the 3D around you, to look past that, to see the divine perfection within you. Okay. And that's the 31 card. And as you release as we release resentment against ourselves, forgive ourselves for the past. And that's come up a lot in the past several readings, that this need to appreciate and create a humility around an understanding, a real appreciation of what we have accomplished to date. Like really take retrospective. It's all of that has gotten us where we are. And maybe your situation isn't exactly perfect, but that's the thing. We keep looking for perfection. And how about if things are good just the way they are, rather than wanting them to be different or expecting them to be different, or they should have been different? Looking around at what you've got right now, understand, appreciating what you've done and achieved, and understanding that this is the springboard from which you can get more. But we cannot do that. We can't do that if we're not looking at what we have, right? We can't do that if we don't appreciate what we've already got. We simply can't. And when we are able to do that, then we have a better idea of what it is that we do want and want to add to the abundance that's already there. If you don't have love in your life, what do you have that you do love in your life then that gives you love and support? Maybe it's a pet. Maybe it's your favorite, mug. I have a favorite mug. What brings you joy? What lights up your spirit on a daily basis? My lovely girl, my cats. Yeah. Having a sip of my coffee. So the Ascended Masters are asking us to look past the current situation, take a different perspective on it. And instead of expecting perfection from them, look at the perfection that already exists within yourself. Forgive yourself. Stop holding grudges against yourself, which only turns into grudges against the people around you and situations around you. 3 and 1, when you add them together, obviously are 4. And so and 4 is that number of stability. If you think of the 4 of Wands, which is like one of the happiest, one of the most amazing cards in the tarot deck, it is about stability. It is about like structure and family and community and being part of something larger than yourself. And when we take that retrospective, when we look back and see exactly the foundation that we have built, those 4 walls, those 4 wands, that number 4, when we can look back and appreciate what we have done and not look at it as a pile of crap, then we are able to move into that 4 energy. We're able to continue to build upon the foundation of what is working. The angels are here with you. So that's why I call in the archangels. I call in Lord, my dear Lord, my dear Jesus, my Mother Mary, a variety of different higher powers of my understanding, higher powers that are bigger than me, and through their eyes, I see my own divinity. I hope you can see yours. So we have these 2 10s, which frame our reading today. And in these 2 10s, I just think that's wonderful. These are numbers of 10 is a number of completion. It's an end. You've come to the end. When you look at the whole tarot, when you look at each suit of the tarot, they end in 10s. They start at the ace, which is a 1, and then they move from that to a 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 10. And 10 is completion. We've got the 10 of Pentacles right here. She's beautiful. I don't know if you see how wonderful she looks. She's riding this amazing dragon, and he has a coin. He's taking her to a new land. She's done the work that she's done, plenty of work. It's time for her to move on to the next thing. She's even looking back at the castle that she built, that foundation that she built. She's taking that retrospective, understanding that she built some really cool stuff. Now she can take that forward, and she's got this peach, which is a symbol of abundance, in her lap. She's got this beautiful star and this stained glass shining above her. And here we have, I see a lot of purple again in our cards. So again, that's a symbol of Archangel Michael, Ascended Masters, that kind of impulse behind us, supporting our efforts today. And that are always there supporting us. We just need to call them in. And so we have her floating away. And again, we have a card of moving forward. We have the 6 of Swords. This is basically packing up those thoughts, all of those emotions, like either shelving them in a way that, in a curio cabinet, or if you will, and appreciating what it is that we have done to get where we are. We're being carried. And sometimes in some renditions of the tarot, this is the Shadowscape tarot, by the way, we see this as like, these people on a boat, but they're also being kind of rowed along, almost like in a gondola or something like that. But here we've got this beautiful swan. So, we have these universal supports, this gorgeous dragon of wealth, which is a symbol of wealth and abundance in and of himself, taking us away. We're carried over the nattering and thoughts of others. The Five of Swords, we don't have that out here today, but the Five of Swords is a card of like mental conflict and just not being on the same page ideologically with other people. And so we're having to move away from things. We're having to shed parts of ourselves that absolutely just don't fit us anymore. There was a really interesting story about how there was about how human beings used to be immortal and could just shed their skins and start afresh and new. But there was a woman who was a mother, and she went to the river to shed off her skin, and when she did so, she kind of observed that skin had gotten caught on a branch down the river. And so she returned home in her new fresh self to her child, and her child freaked out. He did not understand who she was. And so she reluctantly, but did go back, get her own skin and put it back on. And in that she gave up the immortality, her immortality, and thus the immortality of humans. So in order for us to continue to be, we can't just stay in the old and the dead. And that might create conflict, right? That might create some conflict, that Five of Swords energy. We have to just ideologically stay with what we know, understand that the universe is here to support us, call on the Ascended Masters, look at what you have built, because when you do so, the Wheel of Fortune then turns for you. And this is a beautiful symbol of the Wheel of Fortune. I love the depiction in this particular card. I hope you can see it pretty well. It is a beautiful, beautiful card. And again, I'll post all of these on Instagram, so you'll see them individually. But this is, again, this echoes that, if you see, this is that glimmer of sun coming through the stained glass as she moves away. And this is the land to which this woman, this very successful, self-made woman, is moving toward. The Wheel of Fortune in this Shadowscapes tarot is turned by growth. Literally, you can see that these flowers are actually what turn the wheel. And you can see, again, it's new growth, new seeds, new plants that are coming up and creating this momentum. And it's the willingness to shed that old skin, move on, and start to turn that Wheel of Fortune for yourself. So we have 2 10s framing that 6 card today. And 6 in and of itself is a temporary opportunity. 6 is an opportunity to not worry about material items or, any kind of stuff in the 3D. Move on. And again, there's that invitation from the Ascended Masters to, look at things from a different perspective, appreciate and understand how beautiful you really are. And the bottom of the deck, of course, is the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is also, to understand, the Hierophant represents institutions, higher learning, belief systems that may or may no longer serve us. I see the moon here today. Again, the moon, we are really encouraged to wait until the new moon on April 5th in order to make decisions and start moving forward on what it is that we are starting to plan and do, these trips that we're starting to make, these moves forward, a better understanding of the ideology that may not fit with our old circumstance that we do need to pack up and move forward, appreciate, yes. And that's what this is about. I'm really feeling that this is appreciation for where we have come from. And that's the underlying, when you work at the bottom of the deck, this is what is the underscoring message that is offered through any reading. And again, this is an appreciation for where we've come from, and that we can build upon those things, but we really do need to look at what will be the path of growth, those pieces that are of us, that to really appreciate those belief systems, to stand in our belief systems, to understand that they have gotten us this far, and continue to take that inventory, to look at those belief systems to see if they are something that are, what pieces of them are appropriate to bring forward and grow, or to, or cast aside, And so there's that decision card. We have that 2 of Swords underneath the Hierophant. But understand, again, there's great abundance. You have good stuff. We have a lot of cool stuff here. And then the Empress, again, this is abundance. All right. So we have a lot of great cards. Again, I'll do a write-up on the entirety of it as I meditate on them a little more and see what other messages I can draw out. But I appreciate you taking a look today, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.